you're fine. You're fine.
to what's happening.
Makinde, do you want to go ahead and introduce our very special guest today, right now? Let me turn this down because they need to hear this.
Yes,
They need to hear this.
indeed. As everybody knows, we are wrapping up. You are our final guest for Women's History Month. Clap it up for women, period. Clap it up for women. Clap it up for women. We obviously focus in the Black women's
You
space.
barely want to clap for us.
You got to clap a noise, though.
Yeah, he was trying
You got to clap a noise. Oh, yeah, we here. It's cool. My name's Abacha from out west.
I still felt like you
Never
barely
been scared
clapped.
of
I still
nothing.
felt like you barely clapped.
But yeah, so I mean, woman who wears many a hats, many a crowns, one might say. We've got comedian, very well known actress, professor, collegiate professor, mother, all around just talented, person from the city. Please welcome to the Corner Convo, Miss Kelly Howard. Kelly with an E.
All right,
Kelly with an E.
appreciate
Let's be sure we get the E on that.
K-E-L-L-Y-E.
Why's the E special?
What?
Why's the E special? It makes you never see Kelly spelled that way.
Oh,
That's actually pretty. It's beautiful. It's unique. You know what I'm saying? So the E, anything is specific.
No. Just an add-on. You know how Black people do.
Know that.
It was like, throw an E on the end of that shit.
For all the dum-dums,
Throw an E on that mug.
Wait, and they chose it after, it's not on my birth certificate.
Whoa.
Yes. So when we got home, apparently, somebody was like, you spell it with an E. And they was like, all right. And then that's how they taught me my whole life.
So it's not there now?
It's always there. But it ain't on a birth certificate. It ain't never been on a birth certificate.
So it ain't on your passport.
It's not a real thing.
No, it is on my passport. It is on my, yes, hold on. We finna do this.
Let's go.
Wait,
Let's go.
I'm finna tell you. Here, let me talk show.
See that? Thank you. Come again.
So I spell my name like this my whole life. How many of us really see our birth certificate until we need to see our birth certificate, right?
Facts.
And so when I was going to the military is when I had to produce my birth certificate. And it didn't have an E on the end. And they told me they could not spell it like that. And I was like, this is how I spell my name.
Wow,
and so it was a big, huge fight. They didn't initially spell it like that. And then somewhere in the glitches, I don't remember at what point I filled out something. And I was like, oh, they forgot my E on the end. Are you
Nice.
able to add that?
Nice.
And they added that E. And once it's on your military records,
It's over with.
it's done. And so now it's on my social security
That's
card.
hilarious.
So it's not on my birth certificate, but it's on all of my and I've always had it on my state IDs and everything.
Right.
I just never had it on my birth certificate.
I
Very,
completely
South
forgot.
Side and Harvey-ish.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
of course.
swindled my way into an E, nigga.
And we left that with
There you go.
We left off veteran on that list.
Thank you for your services. Thank you very much
I
for your
was in
services.
the Air Force, an electrician.
That's
There
the
you go.
smart people.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, an electrician.
You know.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
That's fire, man.
Us Harvey people.
Harvey World. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's cool though.
Well, you know what?
You said Harvey.
I don't know how familiar you are with the show. I mean, we are the #1 podcast in Chicago, nominated for Podcast of the Year, let me be clear. And also 2022 Move Makers list on that list as well.
Why you
Who
doing that with your voice,
nominated
bro?
you for the
We
number
don't
one
know.
podcast in the year? Because if it was like
Yeah, no.
No, we
this
don't
is-
know.
flipping
this
the
is real shit.
magazine,
No,
then-
this is real shit.
Okay.
Flipping the magazine.
and I'm like, nigga, if it was your blog,
Where's the credit?
Right. Man.
No,
we got a
count.
list.
It's real publications out here, man. Numbers don't lie, man. It is what it is. You know what
You
I mean?
still ain't told
The numbers don't lie.
They don't.
No, we definitely
Right?
doing
The numbers
decent
do. Yeah, we do real numbers.
It was a
It's
mix
real thing.
of
I'm on your ass.
bringing
Yeah.
three different
I see
people
the list.
together
You know
from
what?
three different walks of life.
Here's the thing that what people don't pay attention to. I'm a lips person. I love to pay attention to how people's lips form when they're
Oh,
thinking
this boy,
because your lips say a whole
Facts.
bunch
Facts.
that's your eyes don't
hard.
even say.
Yeah,
So-
you
No,
and
don't look over here. Then.
so
You're
that's
gonna
why
be
I'm
dyslexic looking over here.
I see you over there.
Yeah.
You're gonna be dyslexic looking over here because I can't talk none of this shit. For real. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna malfunction. Right. The fuck wrong with this dude? Shit.
No, so we like to start the show off. I like to ask before we really get into the shits, how was your week?
My week was amazing, actually. I chilled out. I didn't do much. I worked on my syllabus for this coming quarter that starts on Monday. I've been doing some organizing on my own for my own personal material, my stand-up and stuff like
Very
that.
important.
Yeah. And what else did I do this week? It's been chill. You know, I asked the universe for a chill week. last week,
You just be calling them one.
No,
I,
like-
no, real talk.
Let me
That's
hear
real.
about
Real
about
talk.
you.
You can like I really feel like what I ask, well, have you ever like thought a thought or said something and then that very next moment that thing appeared or
TikTok.
that you know, well, obviously because they have that chip in the back of your neck, but but like in real life, you know what I'm saying? I do that often, and I've kind of like started to lean into that intuitive space for me of like knowing what I need, and so last week I had like 6 auditions and I work with a coach. And so I had, you know, I'm driving out to Oak Park working with a coach. And then it was like finals week for my students. And I had shows. And I was like working on some, and I like shot some sketches with one of my friends. And I was working on, and I'm working on a pilot right now. Then my one woman show that was at Steppenwolf is going to New York. And so I had to fly to New York.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. I had to fly to New York to see a theater. And I was just like, literally like,
yeah, running.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like not even really noticing the movement. And so at the end of my audition, I was walking out of my coach house and I was like, you know, I love spending time with you. I said, but I'm going to request that the universe gives me no auditions this coming week. I said, I need a week to just chill. And my week was literally just chill. Like even my dad, I had like doctor's appointments that I was supposed to take him to, and he ended up like backing out, like I'm not going, and you know, so it just ended up being a real chill week.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what's happening, bro. Yeah,
How about you, brother? You know, first of all, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, thanks for being here, man. You know, we appreciate your time.
He always super extra.
So you be missing up? You been missing a lot?
Yeah.
I'm no longer a
Yes,
weekly.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot going on.
It's not a lot, but you just got shit to do. That's it.
Yeah. To that point. So it's festival season for me. So like we're approaching all the music festivals. I work music festivals all summer long. And so now is when all the bookings, all the meetings, all the logistics.
When you
and
say
I
you
teach.
work them, what do you do with
I'm
them?
a talent buyer and production manager.
Oh,
So
I didn't know
I
that.
manage the stages and I book the talent. So
That's interesting. You've never
but
booked
I
me.
teach.
Come on now.
I didn't know that.
We
Go
want-
ahead.
we gonna have
No,
church
go.
today.
Please continue.
Talk on your shit.
I had absolutely
Church on the
no idea
move,
who was-
goddammit. Come
I
on.
had absolutely no idea who was doing these festivals in my city.
Who's keep the cup turned that way?
In my-
Yeah, keep the cup
in
turned
my
that way.
city.
Yes, thank you.
I had
Thank you.
no
Much
idea who was
appreciated.
doing
What city again? What city?
festivals in his city.
Oh, in Arthur's and Harvey. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right. In his city.
But
no,
my state.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
So, but I also teach middle school, and that, as you know, teaching in general, you were talking about preparing your syllabus and all that. So it's just a daily grind. But no, man, huge week in the sense that it is confirmed that it is my stage, and it will be going down.
Which fest?
I have 3 now,
Mm.
so I've got Hyde Park Summerfest.
Clap it up.
Hey, let's go.
Shout out Swain, love you brothers.
Yes.
Summerfest Milwaukee announced their lineup.
Yes, I saw
Announced
that.
their lineup, so that's coming back. And then there's a new little situation. I can't say like what it is, but there's a private situation.
Freaky fest.
Sure, we'll call it that.
Okay, all right.
That hired me in that. You know how sometimes when you first throw out a number for like what you just want to see what they gonna say. Like
Right.
if they come back with the number and knock
That's a
it down
little lower.
bit,
You like, that's what I thought.
that's
you were
cool.
gonna come back.
I'm good with that anyway. Do that thing out there, one. I'm talking about.
Whoa. Okay.
And I'm looking like, okay. So then the next call comes, and I'm just like, let's give this another shot. Let's see if I can do that again. Sure enough. So like to your point about the universe, it's like at some point, somewhere in the beginning of the year, I was like, look, I have to make more money doing this.
Always a plus.
This has to be more, my time has to be more valuable in
Facts.
general.
Mhm.
Which is why I don't come here every week. No, I'm just kidding.
Get fucked up today
You
if
didn't
you
know
want
you
to.
needed your vest today.
Man,
Because they're being
Let them
fired.
straight go.
but the
Fired.
real win this
So you
week
fired.
is that I finally did the thing I've been like, procrastinating, whatever, missing. And finally launching this week is collectivegenius.live, my website. So my consulting company is fully functional. I sent these brothers an email to change all the business emails to go to that.
I totally ignore that shit. Like,
so
fuck
yeah,
you.
I'm probably the most excited about the fact that like now my business
Congratulations,
is like
dog.
worldwide
Absolutely.
accessible.
Nice.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give you some.
Absolutely. Congratulations, man.
That is
As much as it
amazing.
pains me,
What?
Yeah, it does. It does. But you know what?
You put smoke aside for shit like that, bro. It's
You're
like
my
to see your
brother.
brothers accomplish
You know
shit,
what
though.
I'm
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Cheers to
Appreciate
that.
that. Yeah, that's dope.
That's amazing.
That's dope.
That's what's happening though, bro. That's good shit though.
How was your week, brother?
The symbol you've been toting around on your phone for a while, you know what I'm saying? Every time you turn the phone, it reminds you, you know what I'm saying? Keep on going for your
That's
shit.
a real
Cool.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. My week was great, man, you know, and it's the simple things sometimes that make life worth it. Like, my most valuable commodity in life is my fatherhood with my son. I love it to death. My son is part of the special needs community, and being a parent in the special needs community is something different. It's an experience that everybody's not privy to, and I think now absolutely it's a privilege, you know what I'm saying? But these motherfuckers went on the field trip.
His intros be so.
Let's get
He be Malcolm X. I mean, he be Martin Luther King. And he goes straight Malcolm
Can y'all
X.
take a guess? Take a guess where they went on their field trip, though. Take a wild guess.
Where they went?
They went
They
that would be really good if they did, though. But no, they didn't.
went to what's the field trip that every school
Target.
goes to? No, they went to a museum.
Close.
They
Nope.
definitely went to a museum.
Nope.
No?
Walmart?
Still close.
They went to the mall.
They went to fucking Ford City, bro.
They went.
Oh.
For the win.
Field trip?
Of all
It
malls?
was terrible.
Is that a
It was
field
terrible,
trip? Is
but-
that
How
technically-
disrespectful is
Wait,
that?
studying
But-
the failing economy?
But look, though, see, hey, the stores in there are trash. You know what I'm
What?
saying?
Are there stores
The
there?
They're
signs
real
are missing
names.
off the stores. It's all good. But I ain't finna shit on my son's experience, man. But check this out, though, because I went where y'all went at
After he
first.
shitted on it, though.
Yeah. So for my son's 17, so for his grammar school and high school career, he's a senior now. He got prom. Matter of fact, he getting fitted for a suit right now, Gucci suit, Gucci shoes.
Salute.
His mama's spending the shit out of my money. Period. You know what I'm saying? But it's a once in a lifetime experience. It's okay. It's fine. I thought like y'all thought at first, like, man, what the fuck they doing in Ford City? They took CTA to get there too. I said, I'm coming there with all my stuff. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
school bus, bro.
Wow.
There's shortage of drivers for school buses.
There are. That's
no
true.
Bullshit.
That's
So
actually
So they
lot
took
going on.
CTA?
That's actually true.
My son got street cred now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
To Ford City.
Right.
That's
So
fire.
Ford City.
But I thought like y'all thought.
Yeah.
Then it hit me. I say, man, how could I be so ignorant? You know, because everybody not like my son. He has his dad and his mom. That's our only child. He gets whatever he wants. He takes trips, all this kind of shit. The teacher had to say, you know what? Check this out. Some of these kids don't get outside except for going to school and coming home.
Yeah.
So this is everything for them.
Interesting.
And the trip was to teach them how to use money in public settings. So I'm looking like, yeah,
right,
you know.
right.
So I felt like a trash ass human being for thinking like I thought I got my laugh on. Fuck that, I laughed my ass off.
Yeah,
Fuck Ford City.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? What
You
the hell?
should've.
What's going on?
You should've.
Yeah,
My
it's all
kid
good
did
though.
this
Yeah.
before.
You know, right.
Yeah.
But then the better part of the trip was this though. The main part of the trip that these kids were so happy about was Mr. Dietz is his name. He said, hey y'all, we finished eating. It's time to go to Five Below. These motherfuckers start doing LeBron, the Kobe, the Mike. They was like, Five Below? Yeah!
This dude's
I said,
finna go
boy,
crazy.
these kids, but it made my heart happy, bro. I'm like, bro, you know what? It's
Because they
fine.
get to spend their
Spend
money
their
now. If
fucking
they
money,
had
get
like
to shop, be
$10,
adults, bro.
they get
Yeah.
to, you
Yeah,
That's a
know.
good point, though. I didn't
It's
think
cool.
about the fact that I like, you know, we were
Social
laughing.
interaction and shit like that, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
right, because students with special, or students with different needs, right?
Right.
It's like that is a different concept
Yep.
for them, and that's
Yeah.
actually a low pressure environment to
Yep.
teach them that, right? So, like,
Yeah.
actually now it makes sense.
Versus
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
Walmart or a Target where it's so
Where
much
many
going
people
prices are high.
on.
Goddamn.
and
So much
everybody,
going on.
yeah,
True shit.
yeah,
It
exactly.
was great, man.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
early
that
enough that
makes
the
a lot
mall
of
was
sense.
closed, but that's part one. Part two, really quickly, is my son had a basketball game. They were playing Kenwood for Spirit Basketball Championship in the city. I played ball for a long time in my life. I was not bad at all. You know what I'm saying? It's not bad at all. Actually pretty decent.
Yeah, you was all right.
So, okay, cool. That's cool too. So, the game was Friday. The trip happened Wednesday, the game Friday. I call his one-on-one and say, hey, what time should I be to chip my son on? You know what I'm saying? She say, your son ain't finna play. I'm like, what happened? I sat in my goddamn bed, like I work midnight, so I get up at 9:30 to make this call. I say, what happened? She say, this dude refused to practice yesterday, some Allen Iverson shit, so now he can't play. And so I'm looking
He's
like,
6'9". He the most important player on the team.
God damn, boy, I say, boy, you don't like practice, you just like his goddamn dad. You don't like
Right.
practice? Nothing. So she sent me a picture of him. He all dressed up in this Nike outfit, red fours on, red and gray fours on, looking good, like a hurt NBA player on the bench. I'm like, come the fuck on,
He
bro.
low management, man. He low
management,
management.
right. This is a
Early.
championship game,
Hey,
though.
but she said,
Any more games
man,
after this?
every time he walked in the gym, the crowd went crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other Spirit kids went crazy, like he shaking everybody's hand like he a superstar to sit his ass in the
Bro,
goddamn
he's
stand.
6'9".
I said, bro, come on, man.
How tall is he really?
He's bigger than him.
He's a wide guy. He's a wide guy, yeah.
He is bigger than him.
Not quite.
Wow.
Not quite.
It's okay though. No, it's good, man. But that was my week, man. That made my week platinum, gold,
That's what's up,
diamond,
man.
everything, man.
That's what's
And
up.
now I'm here and see you guys here, man. You know, I'm arguing with him a little bit. I'm gonna respect you and enjoy your comedic. Cause I can tell already you funny as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
I watch you funny as fuck, man. You know what I'm saying?
Super
But
funny.
we can be paid together. Now I enjoy coming here. We can play together. here and share this time with y'all, man. My week is complete now. Stamp.
Is this the time where we ignore his week?
Absolutely.
Make
Huh?
sure you encourage your friends to book me on stuff. If I'm
I can do that.
You gotta be on the
links and
mic.
shit,
See,
yeah.
nobody heard that, so that just went out to the
Be
universe.
sure your
only.
friends book me on stuff.
Yo, text the universe. The universe be hitting me up on Thursdays.
She was completely locked into him.
Right.
Right.
Let the universe know I'm available on
No,
Thursday.
you know
I'm
what?
not here for the pod.
I did have like a special connection there. Just like I like your pettiness and you being from the West Side, and just my initial thoughts of you were, aligned with those facts. And so now, knowing that you have this son that you like adore,
you're
that
actually
has
human now.
like you became so much more for me. And
You're actually a human
as a
now.
mom, I'm like, oh, I like this petty little nigga over here now. This is great.
I don't think anybody's ever called you a
Oh my God, I appreciate that. Absolutely, you know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
Get
So
to it.
did you have a week or did you do the same?
Did you
nothing?
have a week? You
He
didn't
does
have
nothing.
He hates
Everybody
his week,
knows.
though. He hates his week.
Yeah,
He got a
does
yellow
nothing.
helmet and he go to
Although
work.
you was apparently
you're
too
a
busy to
construction worker?
send one
Damn.
text.
He said yellow helmet. Are you not a
He has a
construction?
helmet.
not
It's not for
exactly.
construction though, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool.
not for construction.
Oh, you on disability?
No!
I
He
am.
should be.
I am missing
He
all of the
definitely
cues
should be.
here.
He been missing a check. He been missing a check for so long. Like, this boy definitely got a reading disability. He could have been getting paid.
And his lips aren't reading right now, so I don't know.
Oh, that's because he also think he LL Cool J. Like, he the only grown man we know that does duck lips in all the pictures.
Him and
That's
Jonathan Majors.
duck lips.
Yes.
Just lick his
Yeah, that's
lips
him all day.
nonstop.
Amon Phillips and Jonathan Majors.
Let's smoke real quick before I talk
Look,
about
look,
shit.
look.
Nah, man, the week was the week, man. It doesn't change, man. This is the highlight of the week. I prepare every week to make sure that we stay in our spot and continue to grow. Leverage some relationships. We got some other things coming up. It is what it is, man. Work week was work. What else I got? That's it.
Do you work a regular 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm with the railroad.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, takes care of us. You know what I mean? Takes care of the fam. So everything's good.
Railroad, good money.
Yes, excellent.
Benefits.
But no, I mean nothing crazy.
Even though they keep crashing.
My daughter
toxins all
came
over
home
the
from spring break, right? Sophomore year. It's a different experience. You know what I mean? Kelly, I love you because I feel like you are from FDK University, and that's fuck them kids.
She just said how much she loves being a mom.
Nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. See, if you know,
I mean, I'm a mom by
Default,
right?
Like default choices.
I was
Like
fucking
human-
early. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, shit just
Right. You know what I mean?
happened like that.
So no, she was so. I've seen a whole change in her from freshman year to sophomore year.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I can see the growth, and that's cool.
And that's really weird for dads.
It is, right? But I love it because it's like, okay, like the freshman year, you're just doing too much. You're really trying to just show me how much you've grown and you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Right. And it's irritating as fuck. Like, take all the shit that you think that you know back to school. Right?
He said back to school.
Yeah, no, back to school. Like you
Leave it there when you
when,
come
when
home.
you're at school, you're an adult. Knock yourself out, right? You come home, you're still a fucking child.
You my
You're under
baby.
my roof, right?
Don't be tough.
yeah,
That's your
you're
baby.
my roof. Yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah, there you go.
But this spring break, sophomore year, it's real chill. Right? She get in, she get out. Right? Get in, get out. She actually was supposed to leave today, but we're gonna take her back tomorrow. Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool. I hate to see her go.
I like the fact that every time we had this conversation, I just know like y'all's kids are gonna hire my kids. Like y'all's kids gonna be like 40 years old, man.
You gotta get started soon, bro.
When my
I don't
kids
know
start
how
applying for
sensitive
jobs.
of a subject this might be for you.
Oh, not at all.
Talk your shit.
Oh, him or me?
Just your daughter and going back to college and
He's a sensitive person.
No, it's
and
fine.
that she's real chill versus last year she wasn't that chill and now she's real chill.
I like that. What does that mean, though?
That means she got that dick.
For sure. Like, let's be
he's
clear.
aware of
That
that.
mean that
yeah.
has been
That's
done, bro.
where the relaxation
She
came
gotta
from.
relax.
But
She was a little more hardcore with it, bro. I was just gonna say,
how do I tell him this?
no. Like, I mean, like, not to put her business out there, but I mean, she had a boyfriend.
No,
you know
I'm
what I mean,
kidding.
prior,
That-
but
that might not
but
be
it's
the
funny.
case.
But see, sometimes young folks get the dick and go crazy.
That's true. That's
right?
very
You
true.
know what I'm saying? But just her temperament is different.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
What is she studying again? Like, what's her
Criminal justice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, do you know
And
like
she's,
what direction she
Paw
wants to
Proud
go in?
Daddy.
she's actually starting her own podcast down there at the school.
Genius.
And it's
I
called
love that.
Mood Swing. So shout out to Mood Swing.
That's a
Mood
good name.
swings.
That's a good
Nice.
name, though.
That is a great
Yeah.
name.
Do you know
for-
if she wants to go to like law enforcement or more like
She hasn't decided
policy
yet.
and stuff like that?
I think knowing her personality, she may do policy.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but no.
I think Kennedy would definitely kill it.
Yeah,
Is the freshman 15 still real?
Nice.
Huh?
Is the freshman 15 still real?
What you mean?
Yeah,
Freshman
you gained
15
15
pounds?
pounds after your
Oh.
freshman year?
Oh no, hell no. She
No?
stayed
My
in the
daughter
She a
gym.
little
did.
twig.
Yeah.
She like 80
But
pounds.
she's back to
Why is that a thing though? Like, what happened?
because you're moving so fast trying to regulate life that you don't have time to think about food like that. You don't have time to cook or do anything. So you're probably eating a lot of fast food.
Well, shit, I
You're
sent her
probably eating a
money
lot on the go.
to
Right.
You
fucking
know what I
cook.
mean? Like you spend a lot of money in that first year of being. My daughter was like, she spent
Only because you don't
all
know,
of
right?
her
You don't
money
know as a
was
freshman.
basically
on food? Food is so good
Yeah,
though. Damn.
but she went the next semester because it was the first semester. Then she came home for school. I mean, for Christmas break. Then when she went back, she started like grocery shopping
Right,
and
yeah.
cooking. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And like
Exactly.
doing
Smarter
things
move
like
than
that.
you go,
So they
yeah.
had to figure. You got to kind of figure it out.
And she's off campus too, and I love that. So it gives her a sense of independence, right? And
Yeah.
she loves that.
That dorm teaches something different too, though. They do. You gotta have a mixture of both.
Mhm.
Like when I was at Iowa State, and I'm gonna shut up. We had a house. Me and three other players had a house. No, it was 2 players and a bartender. House was wild. When I wanted
Oh, that's
to
right. You went on a basketball
Yeah.
scholarship. That's important to distinct.
Bro.
Like you weren't a regular college
Right,
student.
that is a completely different experience.
It's a
That's
very
world.
different way to
world.
go
Like
to
Harvey
school.
was different. 2 ball players.
Oh, we doing that?
Oh,
Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
I said it all out.
No,
My bad.
no. Continue.
2
West
players,
Side.
2 players and
Continue,
a
West Side.
bartender. No, I like the end of
As
it.
she
2 players and a
reaches
bartender.
inside for
And
her concealed
the
carry.
You see it?
in the dorm. So you had to go to the dorm for peace and quiet, though, bro. Like it was crazy. Like the dorm was peace and quiet for me, and the house was like where it was wild at. So it was different, man. But yeah, I like when kids go away. I tell every kid and every parent that has a kid going to college, man, please try to send your kid away because it's an experience that helps them grow. It nurtures things that they didn't know. They did not know need nurturing.
It's okay, West Side. Slow down.
No, I'm not.
Remember.
That's how I told you to get this next shit. Look at me talk.
Take your
You don't
time.
get this fucked up.
Inhale.
You know what I'm saying? Visual dis-
Inhale.
But yeah,
Time
man,
travel
they
watching
need
this
that
film.
They need that shit, though, man. For
Like he think he gonna
Hey,
forget
so
it.
imagine me at work telling somebody what to do. In that same
Oh, you don't know what he do for a living either.
Man.
What do you do at night?
Yeah, it's definitely a nice though.
He's a stripper.
Oh man.
You can't tell. This is the stripper outfit.
Let me
Strippers
borrow
wear
your chain.
sweats
Let me borrow your
and
stripper chain, though.
t-shirts.
me
They
a-
wear sweats and t-shirts during the daytime. You have never seen exotic dancers
That is true.
wear like regular clothes. This is what they wear. This is the outfit.
I don't know what exotic dancers look like. Male ones at least. I don't know.
like
That's
Paul.
a little-
Like
that's
I
a
don't know
little
where you're
different,
going with this. It's a little weird. Let's just move on. Let's start the show.
I don't know, man.
You know, look, we're gonna start here. So we were having a conversation about comedy, right? And I had a whole like thought process of how I wanted this
You have a
pod
whole
to go.
thought
A whole thought, not even a half.
Did it
one, you know
hurt?
what I mean, it did a little bit. It did.
It
Right?
did seem like
Yeah.
he had the face of like
Right.
Yeah, right.
Struggling.
And so Kelly says, "No, man, like I'm more than comedy." I said, "Okay, well, cool. I have others that we can really get into, right?" So I didn't want to box you in. I hope you didn't feel any way about
Oh
that.
no.
Okay,
I can't be boxed in by
Talk
others.
your shit.
facts,
That's
yeah.
why I fucks with you.
Okay.
All right. So some funny shit happened, right? Oh, I thought this was funny.
That was
right?
a lot right there. It was a lot.
The LA school district, right? Over
Oh.
60,000 teachers and administrators, right, are striking. And the first thing I thought was, again, these people are from FDK University. This is the biggest
School
fuck
district, yeah.
them kids movement ever.
No.
Yes.
It's completely
I see where you're coming from.
No,
with that,
no,
but
it is. You
Is this like
60,000?
the multiple publications? Is this the same
Yes,
fact?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes. It's
It's-
coming from the same source.
it's-
Okay.
It's
Him and
60,000
Sordon came up with
60,000
this shit.
teachers
Power Rangers dude.
laid off. They're striking. They're getting the fuck out of here saying, fuck y'all, I want my money, right?
What's
now,
wrong with that?
nothing wrong with that. You guys as teachers, what do you feel about that? Because I think like
Ain't
it's,
the kids on
it's
spring
crazy.
break too?
I'm gonna let
I
Kelly
think-
have this, but I just want to make one clear,
Nigga, I don't
important
even teaching
factual
a-
distinction.
A
Right.
semester.
Right. This is important
Fuck.
factual distinction.
Fuck.
Right. The thing is that Los Angeles is dollar for dollar the most
Expensive. I swear to God.
city in the world.
It is very
and
expensive.
so teachers are being paid salaries, and if you compare it to Chicago teacher salaries, which aren't amazing, right? But if you compare it to what a normal 9-to-5 middle school teacher gets, right, with a degree and all that, with 5-10 years experience, they're being forced to live as if they work as like a cashier at Walmart. Like the way that their money, their
The dollar
salary,
doesn't travel. Just like last week we
well,
talked
what do you
about.
mean it
is
doesn't? They do
insane.
get a bump though. What
they
do
get
they
a
make
bump,
there?
but it's not. But it just does not. It
Yeah,
does
so
not.
inflation in the city is
Yes.
it's crazy.
It's
It's crazy.
different.
Yeah,
So
So
crazy.
100, like I
And
said
they've
last
also
week,
had it's been the longest time since they've renegotiated the contract.
Yeah.
100 grand in Chicago, gross
59,000.
is 59,000.
Yeah, that was that. I saw that report
You know
you
what I'm
put
saying?
out. There was some errors in that one too. But
It may be
yeah.
time, maybe dated a bit, but those numbers aren't.
Yeah,
far
yeah,
off,
they're
though.
not that
So I wanna
far
look this shit
off.
up too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, don't
But
come
LA
here.
was
Don't
like
come here and try and correct me,
$100,000.
motherfucker.
But
You should have been
to get
in
you
Think about this, though.
36,000.
Oh, wow.
Like after
100,000
after
to get
cost
you
of
like
living,
36,000.
that's like what you
Yeah,
really
that's very-
living like. You know what I'm saying?
So
Which is
all,
real.
all I'm saying is I love it. Like teachers stand up, get your money, right? Because teachers should be paid a whole lot more.
And
than
we
what they
found
are.
out in 2020,
I
people don't
feel
want their
like-
kids at home.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you. I feel like of all professions, teachers should be paid the most.
Yes.
Oh, hey, come on now.
Or one of the most.
Definitely,
they are in
because,
definitely
China.
underpaid.
because they're the ones that are literally crafting the next generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they are crafting them from a place of lack,
Right.
you know what I mean, or a place of struggling on their own,
Right.
like outside of that space, then what do you think
You
they're
can't be the
bringing
best
into it? Because
version of
you can't shut that shit off. Like
No.
people think that when I go to work, I'll be at work, and when I come home, I'm at home. And no, there's literally no way to do that within
Right.
the body. You are a part of who you are in all moments, whether you're showing that part or not. So if you're struggling with finances, that part of you, that layer is still there.
Yeah, you're an angry fucking teacher.
You know what I
Especially if
mean?
a
Right,
kid-
it's
if
still
a kid
there.
starts showing you smoke, or if a parent not answering, like your whole concept, you know what?
Fuck
this.
it.
Work
Your
in-
patience
they have
level
to
are a
work in
lot. Your
unison.
patience
Yeah.
level are a lot
Have to work
shorter.
in
Your
unison.
you know what I mean. Your tolerance levels are a lot thinner. Like you just
Man.
and it puts and if anything, with teachers being paid less, you put the child at risk for being in a moment of like crisis or
sure.
or
Subject to
mental
teacher's bad day.
Yeah.
dysfunction that might happen within the
Yeah.
teacher.
But
Like-
also, if I could get away with not doing shit for 8 hours since you ain't paying me, right? Like, look, he raised his hand. If I
Just did it last night.
if I could get away with
Last
paying,
night, goddammit.
but then I'm gonna do that at some point, right? Like,
Mhm.
you know, it's a really delicate balance of this idea that people want to believe, well, you're teaching because you want to, and it's like, yeah,
Do
Sometimes
anybody
some
do
I
anything
see-
because they
some do.
really
well,
like?
yeah, you love
some do.
comedy, you
Like,
love.
no,
Some do.
nigga, no.
My
No,
mom
that's
love-
what I'm
my mom
saying.
loved teaching.
Like, not like, she loved teaching, but I think probably the love of teaching probably had more to do with her love for you
Mm.
as her child, like to a display of what something looks like in order to create something that will go past.
Interesting.
Like you take care of your child based on what your mom showed
That's
you.
my guy.
You see what I'm saying? Like you got to think about that. So her motivation might have looked like loving teaching, but it was really loving her child.
That's a
Mm.
great
Well, let me
point.
say this,
I
though,
like
because
that.
Mm.
Yeah,
anybody
what's my
else, I would
excuse?
definitely agree. That's fucking logic is soundproof. But my mom was in DCFS before she went to teaching. She actually cared about families and kids. That was her passion.
Before she had him.
Yeah.
Right.
Matter of fact, when they had me, my dad, he didn't let her, but they agreed for her to stop working, stay home, take care of the kids. You know what I'm saying? So he worked 1,000 goddamn jobs. I see why he was so mad all goddamn day. The boy never was home.
I
You know
still
what
don't
I'm saying?
understand how your
But
dad
three-
is 5'9" and the most dangerous nigga.
And he's out of control, man. He's a mellow dude now. All the anger's gone, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's actually very true and very dope. If it wasn't for me, you know what I'm saying? Me being my own example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so I definitely agree. But like back to what you said about 100K, it's like, and teachers being paid, 60% of people in America make less than 60K.
Mhm.
82% make less than 100K.
Right.
92% make less than 150,000. So imagine in a state like California, what 60K is worth? Trash.
Yeah.
Walmart cashier, like you were saying.
Yeah.
100K, you might be a manager at motherfucking AT&T.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't dissing these jobs at all. Get your money, get the bag, get to how you pay your bills, how you got to pay your bills, you know what I'm saying? But being a child of two educators in the end, I do agree with what you're saying, as far as with you too, though. But teachers are so underpaid because the tasks that are put upon their shoulders, man, it's fucking unreal. Because
Yeah.
now in 2023, I hate when people use the year as a reason. It's 2023, let's do this. No, fam, you just fucked up from the jump. But for a long time now, I say the early 2000s, teachers have to cultivate the culture. In the future, what I mean in the future, this is how people respond to societal norms, how to date, court, how to address Because even in class, the boys and girls like each other. They be so inappropriate. You got to check that shit.
Well, you have
Y'all
to
gotta
find,
check
you
that
have to,
shit, you know
you
what
have
I'm
to at
saying?
least find a way to get them to do that in the most like an appropriate, healthy way.
That part right there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Make sure they can
And how
fucking
you
read their
supposed to
name
do that
count.
necessarily?
Exactly.
Like people think that people
Exactly.
assume like what
Yeah,
the fuck is the
it's a
teacher
lot.
a unicorn?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
do they necessarily have the most tactic approaches for
Right.
dating? How they gonna teach a child?
It's real.
You know what
It's
I mean?
real.
Like we
great
expect
point.
so much from one
very
person,
good point.
and we send our children to school saying, "Take care of that.
Do
for
this.
me.
Do the
Handle
best
that.
job you can.
Handle that."
Yeah.
But let me say this, and I don't, were you finished? I don't know if you was actually finished with your
I don't
We
point.
even
did
know
kind
I
of.
don't
We
know
did
no
kind
more.
of end your
Okay,
point
though.
for
I'm
you.
gonna start yelling in like 5 minutes. Don't worry, I'm gonna start yelling. It's cool.
but the other part of this, and this is
That is
this,
so
the
considerate.
found-
Hey, he better get the fuck
Niggas
out
off
of
for a
here.
living.
He better
That's
go
what
with
I
that
do.
bullshit.
He's on his
That's
best
what I
behavior
do.
right now.
She said, "I cut niggas off for a living."
In my car
She keep
and in
reaching
my
in that
words,
boot to the
son.
blade.
Wait, so are you
Cut you
single?
at the knees down.
No.
She
You don't cut him off for a living then?
Oh, I see
that's
what you
cute.
did there. Yeah.
Oh, don't do
I see what you did there. But don't.
You're not gonna stump on top of my joke, bro.
Right.
She said
But
that's
no,
cute.
But one of the reasons why this is even a conversation, this is the real. At the bedrock of all of this, teacher patient
Bedrock. Fred,
is
Barney,
the
Wilma.
fact that teaching was initially designed as a woman's profession. And because of that, it was in America. And because
Is that the
of
nature to nurture thing?
No, it was in the early when public schools started in the like late 1800s, right? Late 1880s. You had the Industrial Revolution happening. So men are like building these factories and building steel mills and coal mills and all that. So we could build America, right? That type of thing, right?
America.
And so with that amount of time being spent there, but prior to that, men were working at home. You were a blacksmith, you were somebody, your business was within the community. So your kid was still under your tutelage moving around, right? Now you got to go to this factory. And back then it wasn't no 8-hour shifts. Back then it was 12 hours.
12, 16.
No breaks. You know what I'm saying? All that. So now you have all these kids just ripping and running and they tan up society. And so they start the public school system not to educate, but to actually have somewhere for children to go. And the only people that were available to work at those places were the mothers.
Oh, that's interesting. I never
Right.
knew that.
Yeah.
And
facts.
so you have...
What book you read that out of? How do I fact check this?
Exactly,
How
because
do I fact check
McKinney
this?
will throw bullshit out here, and he says it so eloquently.
His name is McKinney. Anything that comes out his mouth, nigga, you believe.
Exactly, that's the
You
bullshit.
say that. That's
somebody else said that.
This nigga know his shit. Okay. He has on a Yoruba ankle bracelet. Okay.
I tell you what,
He has a plethora of. He has a wealth of knowledge.
But it's true. This is real true.
That's actually that's factual though. That's
I'm
factual.
not making this shit up.
It is.
But it
That's
does
factual.
make sense.
So
That's
that's
factual.
So that's partially why the pay gap has always been off. But here's the second part of that, which is that now as we move into, the 2025, the metaverse millennial place, everybody's saying that.
Oh, hold
Sex
on,
in the
hold on,
metaverse.
hold on. I need to take this call.
That's great because I gotta pee.
Oh, that's me.
No.
Go
No,
ahead. No, she got to pee.
Oh,
We
I
can't-
gotta
we can't
say
tell her
it.
not to pee.
Yeah, no. This is the other co-host that's not here right now.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Why you gotta make that? Y'all sound
What
super
up?
clear.
What up, cuzzo?
Hey, Cuddy, how are you? You being nice to our guests?
Hey,
I sure
I'm
am.
guest.
This is Kelly. This is Kelly in the building. Say hello to Mila.
Dr. Mars.
Hi, Mila. Dr. Morris.
Mars.
Mars,
No,
Dr. Mars.
She's a real
Everybody
doctor.
fucking my name up.
I said it
I
right
am a real
there.
doctor.
Fuck
He
your name.
didn't.
Fuck your name.
You know what? All right, I got something for you, little man.
Oh, that's both of y'all been called little.
I know.
One show.
In less than half an hour.
What's up? What's going on, Mila? What's going on? What's the word? I know you about to sit on the panel, but I appreciate you calling
that's
in. What's
right.
going on?
Oh my God, yeah. So I am at the Illinois Women in Cannabis spring
What?
conference, and I'm sitting on a panel for breaking barriers, women kind of busting down doors in the weed sector. So I'm super excited. It's like a family reunion here, and I look great, by the way.
Yes.
You know,
All right, now.
you're not your hip hop.
and you ain't-
Jake the Snake's sister. Come on now.
You know what? Right. Nah. See, we got to talk about that. Don't be dissing me on the group chat.
I'm sorry.
My dress looks
Yeah, you're right.
amazing, and I look great in my snakeskin dress. Yes.
It's Gardner. You know.
I'm sure you looked great.
no.
Don't let them hate on you. you because
Oh,
what
yeah,
they got on.
Thank you, Kelly. Tell it, girl.
Always
Tell
trash.
it. Talk about it.
Hey, man.
What you got? What you got matching? You got on a LeBron outfit today?
Not today.
Nah, he got on his
Next week though.
right. He got
No,
on
they
his,
both got on jogging pants
I got
that they
on our
ain't washed
product.
often.
Oh,
You can see.
Are they gray? Are they gray jogging
They
pants?
definitely great.
For sure. Fuck you mean?
Them the only colors you can wear to keep the dirt from
Oh,
being visualized. You gotta keep it.
I'm not ever gonna try to roast a comedian ever in my life.
Right.
Never.
But you have. You've been trying.
Sorry to hear that.
You
Sorry to hear
been-
that.
let me keep it a bean. There's no snow outside. This girl got snow boots to the knee.
It was snowing.
Okay.
No, it
Hello.
was
It
snowing.
was snowing. And
It was
clearly,
also
and clearly you don't go nowhere with them clean ass shoes on. I said that when you
Right.
walked in.
Closet look like Foot Locker. Hello.
Right.
Mila.
Well, you know they're
Mila.
closing, right? You do know that Foot Lockers.
They
Mila.
are 400 and
It's about
some
to go to
stores.
Blockbuster.
One
Yeah,
second,
that's
Joe.
fine.
Because she called for a purpose. You know, I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna make some other shit up. What is the goal? What's the goal of this panel? What's the end game of this panel that you're sitting on today?
Oh, I just get to tell people how it is that I made my way in this industry. Like it's not an easy industry to be in, and
Wait, is it
especially
not
for
easy
women.
as to be black?
Can
to
you
be a
let
woman,
her finish
or some
before you do that shit, bro?
combination? I was asking for
Yeah, no,
clarification
like
of the reason.
Oh, yeah. So Illinois Women in Cannabis is to help
Fine,
women
good.
transition into the cannabis sector. And so not only isn't it a lot of black people or brown people, it's also not a lot of women. Most of the companies are still owned by, white men. And honestly, what isn't owned by white men
Me.
besides
Shit.
McKinney?
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm very interested in this.
Because
I'd
you
love
are
to talk
one,
more.
right?
I-
Like you're not
Okay,
you're
you
not
got it
owned
next
by one
door.
because you are one, McKinney.
Exactly. Yeah, I get to have all those things.
No, I would
Yeah,
just
no, but I
love
get
to
to
know
talk
more
about
about
weed
her
and
role
everything
in
that I
this.
do.
Like, what exactly? You say you're on a panel, but
Yeah, so I am the editor of Cannabis Corner for Chicago News Weekly. I'm the founder of the BIPOC Banking and Cannabis Summit. I help write the legislation.
She has so many
I sit on a couple of
jobs.
national organizations. So
and exactly why haven't we smoked together before? Because
because Kelly
I'm
is a
amazed
smoker.
by this, and I have a medical marijuana card, and I've been like really pushing
You
for
want to be a woman
just
so bad.
some
Don't. I love having a pipe.
redesigning of how we look at weed because it's been placed in our head as like a gateway to crack for so long that I'm serious.
That's a real
This is your
thing.
brain on drugs.
I'm
Real
so
thing.
serious. And it's like, and it really harms how, as creatives, when we use it, it really harms how it could benefit us in our creative process. So I would love to just explore what you're doing and see how we can connect.
No.
And you know what? I definitely was trying to do this class called Pretty Girls Pearl because a lot of women do not know how to roll their own blunt.
Yeah, I use cones.
There you go.
I'm
Are
lazy
you a
with
cone?
this
Pretty
shit.
girls.
You a cone head?
Yeah.
I'm lazy with it. I just like to stuff it
Well,
up and roll it.
Paper is much
Yeah,
healthier
I
too,
like
though.
somebody else
And
to roll
it
my
is
blunt.
definitely much healthier.
Paper's much
I don't
healthier.
do like backwood and shit. I would cough too much. I can't. And I'm a runner, so
What about
I
hemp
need my
leaves?
wind.
Yeah.
She's a runner and a smoker.
With him, please.
No, I will
She's a
say,
runner.
I
She's
will
a
say,
superstar.
the
I
first
run because I
girl-
smoke. I gotta keep it balanced. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Libra.
The first girl I ever saw split a swisher, dump the trash, and Pearl. I remember thinking, we gonna get married.
Shout out to Mila, man. Thank you for calling in.
Absolutely.
Queen,
Absolutely,
See you
man.
queen
next
of the
week.
corner.
Yeah, man. That's dope, man. First lady of the corner, man. That shit is crazy, man. Appreciate all of what you do for the squad. You know what I mean? Like squad goals, man, and you're dope.
Ting, ting, ting,
Yeah,
ting, ting.
ting, 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 ting,
We
ting.
got it before the trade deadline too, bro.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
definitely- before we
I
got
definitely
for
need
the
to
deadline.
connect with her on that cannabis info.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
No,
I know,
like,
Dusty.
I wanted her here so bad because I knew that y'all would have a vibe. You know what I'm saying on that level for real, dead ass.
Man,
But
this
no,
show would've
I'll make sure you get a number.
This show would've been
and
4 hours
connect
long, man.
for sure.
Right.
Man, look, man, I'm the editing king. I took shows from 3:30 down to 1:37.
That's
you
a
know
shot.
what I mean?
That's a shot at somebody. I ain't gonna say who though.
I mean, I work, man. But look, no, we lost a NBA great,
Icon.
an icon,
Gotcha.
Willis Reed.
Man.
Hurt himself, man. Came out and they love playing this video when he comes out the tunnel. You know what I mean? It feels real hero-ish.
Real basketball era.
Yeah, no. 70s was trash. But
Nah, I'm with him on that one though.
yeah, came out, man, got the dub. You know what I mean? They haven't gotten the dub since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
He the
know,
only Knicks MVP.
Yeah,
in
you know,
history.
the-
I mean, Finals MVP in history.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's gotta
the
be another
Knicks haven't gotten one since
No.
then. So I know New York
Frazier?
is salty as fuck. You know what I mean? Shout out to his family. R.I.P. man.
He's a great dude.
I
Yeah,
have no idea. Who
Keep
this
it up.
person
That's
it's fine.
He's a tall basketball player in the
Okay.
70s.
I'm like-
Spike Lee
Iconic.
likes him.
Very
Spike
nice
Lee.
guy.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
if you ever meet Spike Lee, just be like, man, I'm so sorry to hear about Willis
Okay,
Reed."
cool.
Yeah, it worked. That would work.
Spike will
Absolutely.
definitely be like, oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, cool. I want Spike to direct my one woman show. So
and you going
thanks
to
for
New
that
York.
little tidbit right there.
Willis
That's the
Reed.
first thing I'm gonna say when I see that nigga. Spike, shit, I'm sorry.
Have you ever seen him dress up? Yeah.
Too
Across
soon.
the road.
We might got a stunt double for Spike Lee. You ever seen him dress up
Oh,
for Halloween? For the
Oh,
this
you
guy,
as Spike Lee?
the Morris Blackman.
Makinde.
Yeah, no
The
bullshit.
rebranded Mars Blackman.
Yeah, you ever see that?
Of the She's Got
Spot
to Have
on.
It
It's fucking
Netflix
spot on.
series.
Yeah.
No bullshit. It's a good costume.
But he literally built that shit around me.
Okay.
But that on to
Yeah.
what you were gonna say.
Fucking we gotta keep it honest about this Willis Reed moment, man, because it's overhyped. Like every time somebody get hurt, go to the locker room, come back out, Willis Reed moment. But the people that come back out the locker room most of the time after that moment have 20 points, 30 points. They make a significant impact in this game. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. Willis Reed came out. He tore a calf muscle the game before that.
Tore a calf.
No, I mean a thigh muscle.
It's still
Before
a
that.
whole muscle.
Fine, cool. You know what those
It's
are?
really important. It's a leg.
You know what muscles are?
Oh man,
bro?
I've been in the gym, boy. Don't make
Boy,
me
get
take
up
off
out here,
this
boy.
hoodie. I'm concealing.
Fuck it, Joe. Look here. Willis Reed scored the first bucket and the second bucket of the game. Never scored again.
But his impact.
Never
though.
scored. That's bullshit.
I'm just,
That is such trash. You know what I'm saying?
I just knew that was gonna
So
set you
people,
off.
people hype that shit up so much, bro. It's like, hey, man, you gotta start keeping
It
it
was good
real
television,
about
bro.
these moments, man. You know, the Lakers, let's play my Lakers, which I was not a Laker fan. I wasn't born at the time. But the Lakers were fucking playing in game 7 in the finals against the Knicks. He scored 4 points. Motherfucking, the Knicks won by 20. He could have kept his 4 points.
Right, he didn't have
And
to
he
play.
still would have won, bro.
Yeah.
So Willis Reed, rest in peace,
I
man.
never
But check
knew
this out.
that,
That
bro.
moment is overrated, and people hate when I get my opinion about shit because I keep it real as fuck.
I'm not
I
gonna
don't buy the hype.
I'm not gonna go into the basketball thing because we really got to
You
get back to
shouldn't.
talking about Kelly's comedy piece. But I will say that young man from Kansas State, Noel,
Yeah.
yo, now that dude got injured and came back in the game and scored every point.
I don't think
Or
ankles and thigh muscles
or-
compare.
I agree. But you just said it didn't matter. So like, how you gonna now jump on the part?
Well,
that, like,
see, here's the thing, man. They send you back, bro. They tape you up and they shoot you up, right?
With
So
the
you really
cords.
don't feel it anymore, right? I've been there. You've been there. You're not an athlete, so you wouldn't know. It happens.
anyway.
It is what it is.
So Kelly,
right?
it's so good to have you on the
It
show
is.
to have relevant conversation about things
Yeah,
that matter
exactly.
and not
Exactly.
the historic, prehistoric version of what lives they
because
thought they was living.
athletes don't matter because they influence so many kids in society. They know about it,
no,
bro.
no, it's because
Know about it
y'all
still,
never
though.
made it to the point where y'all mattered. But
Shit.
to back to the
I'm bringing
to
my
the
awards
one-woman
next week.
show.
Don't worry about it.
So no. Before you go there though, I want to because you're here. Jordan Poole, aka Jordan Fool, right?
You don't know who that is either.
Okay,
he's,
so
he's
Jordan,
a basketball player.
Jordan Poole plays for the Golden State Warriors
Okay.
out of Michigan, man.
Makes
Great
all the
player.
difference in
You
the
know what I mean?
world. It's okay.
He been getting
I'm
busy.
like, that's the one with the bridge, right?
Right.
That's the one that Draymond Green punched,
In the face.
right?
With the
Golden
bridge.
State.
The one Draymond tried to remove.
It's the one with the
Now.
bridge, right?
Now,
And
my
his
failed
teeth, he
you.
has a
Silicon
bridge.
Valley.
He failed
It's
you.
Silicon-
He
it's
has a bridge in
Silicon
his
Valley.
teeth.
oh, that's what y'all doing.
Wait, what are we talking?
See,
Let's
if
get
you
to it, though.
feed into this bullshit over here,
Can I-
I'm
can I-
not
can I
that
do it,
high.
bro?
I'm
Can I
just
do
a
it?
little lost right now.
Can I ask her?
yeah.
On the
Ooh,
first
y'all
on the
been-
first date, right?
Secrets?
If a motherfucker,
No, it's not a secret.
if you agree to go on a date with somebody and he spent $500K on the first date, is that a flag or what would you think about that?
It depends on his level. If he's a billionaire, that ain't shit.
Well, he's a millionaire. He's
It
the
does
best.
not matter.
he's a
See,
millionaire,
Kelly,
that ain't shit.
Kelly, that's that bullshit. There's no
That's
way.
not true.
So you don't
Because
feel any
I've been
kind of
watching
way?
Billions, nigga, and I'm telling
Hey, I
you,
love that shit.
that shit ain't
I
true.
love
Like
that
he
shit.
bought a bitch a car just because. Like when you got
Yeah.
money that you can just throw like that, your attachment to it is completely
Cool.
different.
You as the woman?
500,000.
The attachment as the man.
Oh
too.
no, he's asking as a woman. You're the woman that he takes on the date.
I understand that. I told him it depends on his level, and the reason why it
Ooh, that
depends
water
on
bottle
his
look
level.
dangerous.
Because if he's a millionaire or he has a lot of money to blow, and he does, and that's the kind of dude he is. He's a bottle buying type dude at the club. Then 500K or 500 or 5,000 or whatever may not be a lot.
500,000 is a lot.
on,
That's a
no.
lot of bottles.
But here's what I want you to understand.
If this nigga work
That's
at the
It's a
railroad,
precedent too.
I ain't got it. I'm gonna make a meal.
Yeah, 5 for 5.
that's not a shot.
No, I like that. I like
Shot.
that.
I'm
Look,
giving an example. I'm
Look,
doing a
look.
parallel so that we understand.
over 3 years, I'll see that. I'll see that, right? I'm not spending 500K first date.
I don't give a fuck what I got.
And
I don't care what I got.
it was $500K with Ice Spice, right? I don't know why she's so important to people.
That was the other part. It was Ice Spice that he took out.
You know what Ice Spice is?
The girl that
one
make
of the Spice
the Ratchet
Girls.
song. She got the new Ratchet
Shit,
song.
one of the Spice
She's
Girls.
a young female rapper from New York.
What's the song? She knows.
She's You a Munch.
Munch. She got the Munch song.
It's a song. I'll call you a munch.
Oh,
God damn.
I don't know. I live under a rock.
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
There
so
you go.
anyway,
Fuck it.
You live in Iraq. No, you see what I did?
From Harvey, you say
Yeah,
that
Harvey's
was
a lot of
lame.
race.
Yeah, it was super
That
trash.
was like mad.
Yeah, you
lame.
tried it.
I was
Yeah.
trying to say
Like-
she traveled.
Yeah, no.
I thought your
No.
name meant you did everything right, but you
I
just
have never
you
heard
just
a
proved
joke
to me
that
that
bad.
that is not the case.
I've been
the
telling
name
people
does
this for
not make
years.
the man.
Hey, he didn't enroll in your class though.
I do.
So,
Enroll in this
so
class.
no. The real question is this, right? He blew $500K
Okay.
on this young lady, right? First date.
All right.
You don't have
Precedent.
$500K to blow.
Now that's different, nigga.
You don't have $500K to blow.
If you ain't got
And I
500K to
guarantee
blow,
you,
how you blowing
his
it?
accountant told him, don't do that. I guarantee you, his
Who
mama
would
told
tell you on
him,
a
don't
first
do
date?
that. What are you spending $500K on? This wasn't a shopping spree.
Don't care what restaurant it is.
And
Did they say what she got or what she was
Mhm.
spending?
Nah.
They did.
Oh, they did? Okay, go ahead.
They did. I'm not gonna say it though. Go ahead, 'cause
I wanna-
Why?
I
It's
wanna
very
know.
pre-
Yeah, I wanna
it
know.
matters to
Oh,
the
he don't.
story. What?
It's not a real thing. He don't know it.
I do know.
What? Tell me.
Y'all can't bully me to saying this shit.
He's
though.
in a group text
Say it
with
though.
him.
He said y'all can't bully
500K
me.
boys.
Say that
Like,
shit,
they got a whole group chat that we don't know.
What
Yeah.
date is worth $500K unless they took a trip to Dubai?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know what I'm saying? Bought 2 camels back with them and some
Brought two camels
some
back.
Dubai-ish cannabis. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Came back on a PJ, and the fuel for PJs is very expensive. They landed on the water because it's a hydrocraft. You know what I'm saying? They had
Right.
all kind of wild, weird science type shit.
I agree with
Could be
that.
$500K. My point is this though. I think that spending that kind of money, I don't care how much you got, it sets a precedence. Now, we sound like some broke motherfuckers, but you know, we do well for ourselves. I know I do.
I ain't spending
But I think it's a precedent set. So say if you want to date this, you want to go on 4 dates a month. That's 1 date a week. That's not outrageous. That's $2 million a month. You see what I'm saying?
month.
That's my point. A month.
A month.
So now,
What kind of head you
2 times
giving?
12 is what?
Oh my God.
A year. Bro, come on now. I see this contract. You
It's
can't
not.
do that.
It's not realistic.
Yeah, you can't. That's my point. Trying to
That's
make you like.
sustainable.
He was doing
So
this.
I would question like if I
was doing this for
if Jordan Poole tried to take you out, you weren't married, you know, no disrespect to the husband. Don't come in and hurt me. Don't fight Jordan Poole because you already got stole on. You know what I'm saying? But if he's dating you and it was $500,000 dates every week, that wouldn't be a red flag. Like, bro, what you doing?
But
What-
who's
what
to
you
say?
coming for?
Like
What
my
you coming up
husband,
for?
when we started dating, like we didn't go out on expensive dates every time we went out. We went on an expensive date maybe the first time, or maybe. And actually, our first date wasn't expensive.
Hey, boy, step your game up, man.
Now
Step
that I
your
think
game
about
up,
it,
man.
nigga,
What y'all do
But-
first date? Oh, we want to know this now.
Our first date was the Lauryn Hill concert.
That's
That's dope.
At
Was
the,
she on time?
No,
No.
nigga. She was
Not
like,
in them days. That was before the
she was like
clause.
2 hours late. It was
Damn.
wild.
No, that was a whole clause now. She can't show up less than 10 minutes late without forfeiting her whole
Good.
shit.
Wow, that's good.
Because motherfuckers got tired of that shit.
That's crazy.
Look at the stage
And I love
manager in
Lauren.
him.
No, it's a talent buyer. Like you send that contract, if she's more than 10 minutes late, you forfeit 50% of that money.
That's
That's
wow.
Terrible. And-
Yeah, so you're gonna get that dollar. You're gonna be on time.
And the problem with
Go ahead.
I'm
Oh, wait,
sorry,
you,
but
you
really
ain't finished
shortly.
your point. You
When
said
finish?
no, you didn't. You said
Hey
y'all
fam,
first
not
date
gonna try to
wasn't
dictate
expensive.
shit, bro.
Yeah, no,
All right,
she
don't
wasn't
try to
finished.
dictate shit, bro.
Oh my God.
All right.
I mean, you did cut me off.
He cut you off first.
True.
He said him second. I'm
You
in last
all
place.
cut
I'm
me
not first.
off.
I'm last.
You all,
There
exactly.
you go.
You guys cut me off. No, so it wasn't an expensive date. But what I'm saying is you don't maintain that over the course of the relationship typically. So your theory of 4 dates a month at $500K, 12 times, yeah, like who the fuck? No
Right.
one's spending that. Maybe that first one was $500K and the rest of them is gonna be in the 10K range. You know what I mean? Like more of like, we're gonna go up here and get a meal real quick, or we're gonna go do something.
But
You
how
know,
bad do you want?
He
Do
cut
you
you off.
want to fuck? Yeah, no, because
You
I had
did.
to.
He did it with the hand first, which makes it, I guess, valid.
How bad do you want to fuck?
Traffic stop.
I'm coming and you gotta stop.
Whoa!
Oh, that was nasty. We gotta
Oh,
pause.
y'all just wait.
I don't even understand.
Wait.
like,
That's
what is
insane.
the, yeah, what
You
is the
can't say
context
certain
for
things.
that?
That is
Wait,
insane.
first of all, you're
Yeah.
not gonna speed
No, you
past
part
that
of
like you
the
didn't
game.
just say what
Yeah.
you just said.
Look, I just found out we had this
How
conversation.
immature.
Yeah, it's super immature. Fuck you,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
You can pause women. I thought
Yes,
it
you
wasn't a
can.
real thing, but it
Nah.
is. But all I'm saying is, how bad do you have to want to smash a chick to spend $500K?
I don't
Like,
I guess
think it's
500K
clout, man.
bad.
So what he did, he just set the bar super high, and that's lame as fuck. There's no fucking way. All right, so you got guys buying the bag, flying them out, whatever, right? Cool,
Freaking
buying some
saline.
kicks. Maybe even pay your mortgage, pay your
Red
rent.
bottoms.
Cool, you got
Damn.
it.
So that
right?
500K just knocked you right out the motherfucking.
You goddamn right.
You can't even.
Negative.
Hey, I deleted her music off my streaming. Don't got a chance for that.
You like, I ain't listening to you no more. bitch.
Don't got a chance.
Go. Munch no more.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So to me, like, are you saying any guy that I deal with now has to spend $500K on me?
No.
For her, right? For her.
I don't think so. I think as a woman, because we gauge.
Or she like, this nigga lame. So
We
I'm gonna get
also
everything I got.
gauge the level of like what. First of all, it's a couple levels here. Okay. Now we talking about an outrageous amount of money with some really unrealistic.
With 2 celebrities.
Right. You know what I mean? Like this is
It's news shit. It's clout shit.
right. On a basic dating level of how much a person should spend on a date, right? On that level, when I think about a tier of how I would, it's about my expectations. So as a woman, I have a certain level of expectations of what I'm willing to tolerate. Like, you're not going to take me to Denny's, nigga.
For sure.
Denny's is trash.
You know
For
what I mean? Like, you're not going to, I have certain, unless we were watching a movie and something about Denny's and a joke
was
popped
special
up
to a
and this
thing, right.
this became
Right.
a moment of like
Right.
thoughtfulness,
Right.
then yes, right? But also, it also depends on the kind of dude you dating as to what can be spent.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's levels to this question on so many
Levels.
levels.
Right.
There's
Look,
levels to the levels.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I don't give a fuck how much money I got. First date, you haven't earned $500K worth of my money, right?
So you don't care about first impressions, what you're saying. It's not that important how.
Hell no.
Right. There's
Hell
no $500,000 first impressions. I understand
no.
that.
Hell no.
Okay,
No
do
way.
it.
Then that's your level.
No way.
It is.
Now, what happens?
But
if-
Bobby Axelrod on Billions,
Bobby can blow it.
he might.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, whatever you do over there with your little buttons.
First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Hey, dog, this is egregious. That was egregious.
Tough.
All right, let's move on.
Hey, look,
That
really,
was
really,
nasty.
really quickly, bro, I'm done. 10 seconds. My only thought was, because people follow rap and sports so much, is that how will these young people that don't have that and these young ladies that, waiting for these dates and these guys, these corner boys, how's it going to affect them? Like, now, is Shorty going to expect you to get the bag, the Birkin bag, the saline bag, the Coach bag every time you take out a date?
Saline
got
bag.
$500K. You better spend
You did say
I don't
saline.
think
Saline, whatever.
What is it?
You said saline bag.
Saline, yeah, saline. Sorry,
I
saline.
thought those going titties.
That's the
Is
worst y'all
that
got
a,
for
what
me?
is
Yeah, what's
no?
the-
What is saline?
Oh, it's
What
saline.
is
Is
a
it
saline
saline?
It's a
bag?
solution. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
They put those in bags?
That was a reach. It's
It
cool.
was a joke.
Saline is actually
yeah,
in
I'm-
bags too, though. If you want to go there.
Hey, I'm
pretty
with
smart.
you.
I'm very
I
smart.
found
with
it
you.
funny.
It's
I don't.
fuck
That's how
I found
the joke
it
was.
funny.
Everybody on a different page with it. Look at that shit. Come on now.
I found it funny, but as a comedian, I don't typically laugh. Like, you want me to laugh at your joke? I just be like,
So you on some hating shit, huh?
basically.
I ain't mad.
I'm not touching you. It's COVID times.
And you a stripper.
That's why your cup was dirty too. Just so you know. You got a dirty ass glass to start.
Y'all too funny today, man. All right, look. Let's transition. Let's transition, right? I would like to know, when we talk about comics, when we talk about comedians, let me first ask you this, right? Obviously you have female comics, you have women comics.
What?
What's the difference?
No, exactly. That's where I'm going, right? So I was listening to I was listening to Chris, not Chris, right? Tony Rock the other day, and he was saying he had made mention of a friend of his that's a comic, and he initially said, "Oh, I know this female comic," and he said, "No, you know what? She's a comic, right?" So I hate when
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like
Right.
a one, putting
Like you
woman
say,
or
woman
female
be-
before
right,
it.
before it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I am opposed to that. I don't like when people are about to bring me on stage and they say, y'all want to hear female's perspective,
Right.
or I want y'all to give it up for this female. Y'all finna get it from a woman's, coming to the stage next is a woman. I hate that whole energy because
Yeah.
to me, like, for one, you're already setting an expectation for the audience that is unnecessary. Like, they know what I look like. And plus, who are you to identify me or tell me what I am? Not that I'm not that, but I'm
what
just
if
saying.
she was like, I'm a grown man?
right. Or like a
Like, what if
little,
she walked out and was like, I'm the realest grown man comic you've ever seen in your life?
or a little white boy. Like, let me be me. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, don't tell me what I can be.
I'm not gonna take that as a shot.
I did not see you as a little white boy looking.
Oh wow, bro.
Then I'm not gonna take that. I definitely didn't have you in mind when I said that. That's hilarious.
So
Insecurities,
I love it.
yeah, he's the whitest African ever. Like,
that's so funny.
so when we're talking about comedy, right? What is it like when you see people steal bits? Is it stealing bits if you remix it, or
That's a good question.
is it theft?
Here's
know what
the
I'm saying?
thing.
Is it
Here's the
theft?
thing. No idea is original.
Right.
Facts.
We're in 2023. The world's been spinning for a very, very long time. Nigga, you're not special. But there is something, there is perspective, there is point of view that only you can have. And when you take someone else's point of view very blatantly, whether it's word for word or even the idea of what they're saying, because sometimes you can take a person's.
Has anybody ever taken your joke?
Once I had a little scuffle with somebody over a joke.
Who won?
Because I'm wondering like what the example of that might be. That
So
might
I
help
just,
set the
it's not about who
context.
won or who didn't. I'm too creative to waste time
Who won the fight?
debating over this my joke, this your joke. Nigga,
Right.
keep the joke. Do the
Okay.
joke.
Oh, it's a dude too?
So that is a real thing when people take, and that's my confusion, because if I see an act, I'd be like, oh, well, I kind of touched on that in my show, right? But I see yours,
Yuck.
and I'm like, oh, she did this a little bit different. It's the same subject matter, but I got a different twist. Is that stealing?
Here's the thing. I think if you look at a person's act, if I see somebody say, my kids, I don't know, you think of a random.
Right. It's
I
not
mean,
telling
experience.
the
So
joke.
when you did the bit about eating the cereal,
silverware.
right, with your daughter, and she was talking, and you was like, well, shit, fuck it, this is fucking soap opera now.
Oh, now
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
watching it.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, love that.
Yeah. Okay. So if I see somebody do that joke, right? If it's just like that, I definitely might be offended by that and say, hey, you took that joke. I know, because that was a lived experience for me. That
Right.
actually happened to me.
Right.
I actually was walking downstairs on my way to my bedroom. My daughter was like, can we talk for a minute? And I was like, shit.
The voice and
I'm like, I'm high
Yeah,
as fuck. And now I
hate
gotta
that.
kind
I
of,
hate that. Yeah.
I gotta deal with this as a parent, right?
Right.
And so that was a very real thing that happened. But I think what is happening, and I'm glad we even talking about this, because what I think is happening now is as comics create, there's a lot of insecurities about whether or not they are being original. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, if I talk about this, does that mean that I'm talking about, you hear Chris Rock talk about weed and now weed is off limits.
Right,
you know what I mean? We can't talk about
the
weed
point.
now
Yeah,
because
right.
Chris Rock talked about weed. No, weed is a universal thought. You know what I mean? I mean, a universal thing. People use it in different ways. People have different experiences with it. And I feel like as long as you're staying true to your lived experience, then your material is safe. You know what I mean? And so, well, unless you're that kind of comedian, if you're a comedian, now that's my style. This is very personal. Okay, so I'm
I
not
can
saying
tell
that.
because there's a lot of shit I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, I'm not saying that in a way of like, as long as all comedians live to their, like, no. Me, when I'm creating material and dealing with other people's material, I say to myself, as long as I'm staying true to my lived experience, I'm safe.
How much do you, when you like, because I mean, we talked about that, right? Like you're a professor of comedy, which is, you know, that's some real shit. Like honestly, one of the first things
It's very privileged.
that it
to
yeah,
be able to
I think I see
No,
where
it's
you're
real.
going.
be
Like,
able to get a degree in
get-
comedy. You have to
get
have a
into-
certain level
get
of
into how many
privilege.
different ways you can make
That's what I'm
money
saying.
in comedy.
But I
Yeah.
liken it from, you know, for you know, we got a sports audience too, right?
Mhm.
And I remember Jim Tressel from Ohio State. I remember one of the first things about him, football coach, was he was like, all my players have to take coaching classes from me. So like his players to be on the team to get their scholarship had to first take a class on coaching. And that's not something that's normally offered to to an industry where we just want you to be on stage.
Mhm.
We just want you to perform.
Mhm.
So like how do you approach being a professor of comedy? Are you teaching the industry? Are you just teaching the art form? Like how does that all come together? Because at the same time, you're also a comedian. So it's like you on stage in a way when you teach in this class. Do your students expect you to be funny? Like, do they expect you to help them write jokes?
good
Like,
question.
how do you intertwine both of those worlds?
Oh,
from
McKinday, these are all great
education?
questions.
What does that syllabus look
These are
like?
these are so amazing. I'm gonna try to go back to your first one because it was 47 of them. I counted.
I counted them.
Hey, don't answer all them bitches either, though. Jesus Christ.
So it's interesting because I was requested when they sent me the email to teach the class. It was specifically
Oh, they sought you out.
They sought me out. They sent me an email on my
Oh,
website
you out here working.
and said, "Hey, we would
Shout out
really
to
be
websites.
interested if you taught a solo performance in comedy
Interesting.
at DePaul." And so they were like, "Do you think you'd be interested in this?" And I'm like, "I don't know, right?" So I was like, instantly, "Yes, bitch."
What's the bag? Let me get the bag. Exactly.
Obviously, I'm gonna
Thank
do
you.
it.
You're literally gonna pay me for this.
And so then after I accepted it, right, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be a teacher at DePaul, right? And it's wild because I don't even have a degree, right? Myself. I got 7,500
Wow.
credits,
You
but
know how
I
crazy
don't
that is?
I don't have
You're
a
teaching
degree.
people to get a degree without a degree. That's crazy.
I don't have a degree. And I was it was a couple things that happened here. For one, I applied to DePaul Theater Program before like years ago. You know what I mean? Before I even went to Columbia, when I first wanted to be an actress. I applied to Juilliard, I applied to DePaul, and I got in Columbia because you just trip in and pay. And so they let you kind of go to Columbia.
I got in Juilliard though.
Yeah, congratulations, nigga.
Okay, thanks.
So
That's not a real thing, is it?
It wasn't, but it sounded so
right.
good.
I'm like,
If he did, it was for belly
I
dancing
can
and
see.
ducklets.
Yeah,
I can see that this nigga ain't went to Juilliard. Like, it's nothing about him says Juilliard.
Nothing about you says
Nothing
Juilliard. Nothing about you says computer or school, nigga.
Wow, she called you fat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Amongst a myriad of other things. But you were
So when I started teaching, when I got the opportunity to teach, I instantly started thinking like, oh shit. And I had all those insecurities. I don't have a degree, right? What am I gonna teach? I don't know what I'm doing, right? I've been doing stand-up comedy. I'm sounding like this nigga.
Get it out. Get it out. Yeah.
Okay, you
I
got
don't care. She not lying, though. I
move
don't
over.
care.
You got a slow motion. It's not. His eyes came up. He was like,
you not lying, though. It's cool.
He was like, that's my
welcome.
effect
Welcome to
on
the
people.
dark side.
That's my effect on folks.
Welcome, goddammit.
So I've been doing stand-up for 16 years, and what I realized as I was trying to think about what to teach, that I didn't understand the inner workings of what I had always been doing. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing stand-up for 16 years, but I kind of had just been doing it. And I had tripped into it by somebody asking me
Accidentally.
to do, yeah, really. I mean, honestly, somebody was like, you're funny. I was working at Foot Locker. I'll even tell you the story. I was working at Foot Locker. And I was actually working at Athletic Express, which is like the smaller version, but it's they're all the same. And it was in River Oaks Mall.
Trash.
Very. And this Latino family had came in, and they were all talking amongst themselves. That is your opinion and yours only. They were chatting amongst themselves.
How that racist, dog?
And
Fuck
just
out
stop
of here,
talking.
man. That
Just
goofy
stop.
shit.
Matt.
Yeah, my mom at the crib.
So they were talking or whatever, and I asked, did they need any help? And they said they didn't speak English. And so it was another guy in there, a black guy, promoter. They walked out, the Latino family walked out, and right in front of the mall, they were like speaking regular ass English. You know what I'm saying? Just like
I stand trash, didn't I?
Like,
Fuck up out of here, man.
perfect ass English.
Y'all stop
like,
playing with me, Joe.
That's a moment.
a moment.
Yeah.
This moment was brought to you by Bossy's Angry Ass.
Trash.
No. Sponsored by nobody.
Yeah, there you go.
So I was like, damn, right? And so I just started roasting their ass. I don't even remember what I said. Like, this was a long time ago, you know? And so I just started roasting them. And the dude that was in there was like, yo, you funny as hell. He was like, that's funny as hell. He was like, have you ever tried stand-up comedy or anything like that? And I was like, nah. I was like, I go to Columbia right now. I was like, I'm about to start working at the Department of Homeland Security next week, so I'm not going to be working here no more.
Homeland. Oh, that's right. You was in the military. Right?
Yeah. And so I was like, no. And he was like, if I gave you 5 minutes to stand up, would you be willing to do it? And I was like, sure. Right? You know? And so I I was already working at Department of Homeland Security because that's how I got my stage name. So I went to work and I was telling everybody at work that I got this opportunity from this dude at Foot Locker to be on stage, and they all
that sounds weird.
And
That sounds legit.
That sounds
legit. This dude at Foot Locker is gonna give me 5
So he gave me 5 minutes at Damon Williams' spot that he used to
Shout
do.
out Damon.
In,
Shout out Damon.
shout out Damon for sure. That he used to do at the Holiday Inn. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
In Madison?
Yeah.
Right. So
That'd be
first time ever on stage, Damon Williams gave me that opportunity.
That's what's up.
And
He worked at Foot Locker?
no, you stupid. I lost this nigga in the story a long time ago.
Like he blacks out. He don't even know it. He don't even know it.
So I went to work and I'm telling them all, and this dude that I was like super cool with was like, what's your stage name gonna be? And I'm like, nigga, Kelly, right? And he was like, no. He was like, you need a stage name. And I'm like, he was like, all the great comedians got a stage name. Think about like Earthquake, you know, and I think that might have been the only nigga he named. But
Everybody else used their real
but he had me convinced. I was like, cool, I need one. And so he was like, and because I was insecure and hadn't had like self-worth yet, he was like, you should go back grapefruit because your ass looked like that. And I was like,
This nigga, I hope you canceled this nigga long time ago. Did you marry him? Is that
for
Mike?
sure.
No, that nigga was trying to smash. Like I got you.
Grapefruit.
And I swear for you, that was my fucking stage name. Like
What?
that's what I said before I had self-worth, nigga, and self-love.
That's funny as hell, though.
When I was insecure.
Wow.
And he was like, cause your ass looked like a grapefruit. And so the first name ever introduced on stage, Damon,
He was
was like,
unfocused at
coming
work.
to the stage,
Grapefruit.
grapefruit.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
I hope there's video of this. First of all.
No, it's not, thankfully.
That's incredible. So when you approach the class, you're saying that you approach it from, I mean, I'm sure it's a class. Like you do trimesters, right? In DePaul, right? It's not semesters.
It's quarters.
It's quarters.
It's quarters.
So they're like 5 to 6 weeks.
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
Yep.
Damn.
So,
Quarters,
but
too.
I said that because I kind of tripped into comedy. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. So I never really understood the practice of comedy. You know what I mean? Like what comedy was. I didn't watch it as a kid growing up. I didn't like, you know, I wasn't one of those people. Like you see comics out here doing stand-up and they be like, oh my God, I studied this. I watch late night all the time. I watch this, I watch that. And they have like literally engulfed themselves in stand-up most of their upbringing. So now that they can do it, they have a love for it, a lust for it. Me, I was just like, got on stage, felt a kind of cathartic release, kind of like a
Cathartic. I'm gonna give you
like
8 for cathartic.
He
Like-
rates. He gives rates for words used
Oh.
that he doesn't.
Oh, nigga, I
recognize.
went into my Rolodex a long time ago. Right?
No. Get
I'm
into
on
your
another
lexicon.
level. No, I'm
Get
just
into your
playing.
lexicon. ASAP.
Credits.
I just told you how many credits I got from college. But yeah, so it just gave me this feeling of like, it energized me in a way that I had never felt before,
yeah.
you know? And I think because I'd always kind of been on a stage anyway, like growing up, that was my way of dealing with shit around me, dealing with certain traumatic happenings
Trauma bond
in my life. It was like, ha ha ha, right? This is how I deal with it. I got kicked out of
Right.
2 high schools. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wait, we didn't even go there yet. But go
man,
ahead. Sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
a hot fucking mess. Like I'm telling you, I was the epitome of what you would expect somebody from Harvey to be. You know, I mean, for real. If you have an assumption,
So was I wrong?
I was that. You were, because look at me,
Okay, cool.
nigga.
Oh, look at me now.
Anyways. So
What are you doing over there?
when I thought about
Okay.
this is how we express ourselves. When I thought about teaching, I was like, shit, I gotta learn this. And so I started Googling how to do stand-up.
Hilarious.
You know what I mean?
That's
and started
funny.
actually learning the mechanisms of what I had already been doing kind of naturally, right? It was so many things in there, like incongruity and surprise
A
and
10.
all of these things that were in the actual structures of stand-up comedy that I was naturally kind of doing.
Dope.
And so I was like, oh shit. And the beauty of that was I started to see my material as new ways of like, oh, I can do this. I see why this joke don't work.
Right.
That makes sense
It
to
ain't
me
got no
now.
Teach them that shit.
It
Right
ain't
now.
makes
got no
sense to me why
congruity.
this joke doesn't work. And it's no longer about me not being funny. It's no longer the insecurity
Ah,
that
it's technical.
happens. It's technical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't understand
It's a
this.
science
That's
section.
why I don't know how to
Right.
do it. And so that was the most eye-opening fucking thing when I started to teach it. Because I was like, yo, I'm on a new level.
That's
like, and so now that when I approach the class and the subject matter, I approach it from a very structural, like, this is what you need to understand about, one, human laugh triggers. There are real, actual psychological laugh triggers, reasons why human laugh. You need to know that so that you can write material that targets
and resonate
said
those
triggers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to write in that way. And so once you understand that, you can kind of really craft your set and your material.
Yeah. You wouldn't shake my hand. I'm coughing on you. I'm done with y'all as a unit. God damn it.
Oh, shit. Over here catching cancer from that pen.
Yeah, it's like all the...
Don't do my pen.
Nah, but real
you
talk
ain't even
though.
pass me the blunt, yo.
This is regular. I'm not giving. I won't touch this nigga hand, and you think I'm gonna let my blunt touch your lips?
Roll me one, yo. Give me a cone.
That's the only one in there.
It is.
How you know?
One
Oh, that's true.
Because she opened the
in there.
fucking thing.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm on your podcast, and I'm supposed to bring you weed.
Exactly.
Well,
How
we
trash
It's
are
trash
you?
that you didn't have that shit available
trash
for
are
We
me.
you?
actually got
In
shit
fact,
for
low-key,
you.
Mila, this is low-key on you. You supposed
Fix
to
your
leave
lips.
weed
Fix your fucking lips when you talking to me.
for the guest, Mila. This is on you.
But people are pretty simple, man. So like when somebody takes your class, two things about this. When somebody takes your class, I did preface this by saying people are simple. Do they expect to come out your class fucking funny and just knocking people over?
That's a
Because
good point.
people are really ridiculously stupid. Like, hey man, I took your class. I don't think I'm funny enough.
And I'm not funny.
And have people actually like fake yelp you like, don't take your class or,
No.
so what I'm saying.
So I only been teaching a quarter, so there's not enough Yelpable
Yeah, it's not
content
enough
out
data.
there.
Not enough data.
But we do get end of quarter reviews. Like my students have reviewed me, and I've read some of them. A lot of them was like, a lot of people were actually engaged and just had a lot to say positive about the
Right.
class, that they took a lot away. They felt like I used a lot of my own personal experiences in
Relatability.
this industry
Yeah.
to really help them connect with the material on a deeper level, that I was knowledgeable. And I think that's because I took the time to learn about it. Like before because, one thing I've noticed, for one, I meditate, I chant, right? I practice Buddhism. I, write every day. I do a lot of things to really structure my mental health in a way that I can control it as best as possible, where I'm not thrown off or triggered, right, by outside entities or whatever. So
Right.
because of that, I really approached this class from one, things I wish I knew, and things I think will be helpful for them to become real, healthy, I don't want to say productive, but just artists that really understand the beauty of art, like understand the beauty of what they can do with what they
Right.
have, And if you don't understand that, you're always chasing a dollar, or you always chasing these
You're
arbitrary
chasing the
fucking
moment.
things
Yeah.
that don't really fill us up. They may fill us up temporarily, but then we're depleted and we're empty and we feel worthless, and we go back to that space of like, am I enough? Right? And that's that cycle that I have chosen not to live in.
Right.
And what I realized about that, though, is a lot of that was stemmed from how I was creating. So I was creating in very last minute, survival instinct type of creations of like improving. Like, I just got to get the shit done. And that happens from just having to get the shit done. And a lot of Black people live.
how we live.
We
No,
live.
get shit done.
Just gotta get the shit done.
Today.
Low-key, that's how the pod works.
That's how you live. But what I've realized, though, is it's beautiful in a way. But at some point, you have to become a professional. And when you become a professional is when you realize that you have to plan.
And that's how
you
the
have
pod
to
works
really
now.
structure the shit. And if you don't, you cannot. And you can make it without that. You can make it. If you like that space of energy, if that place energizes you and that's the best place that you create from, if you're being really honest with yourself, then yes, that can be good. But if that's not real, if you're creating from a place of survival, of latching on, of just trying to make it, whatever the fuck make it mean, right? If that's where you're coming from, you'll never really feel that satisfaction that you need. And so understanding that just through all of my self-work, when I got the opportunity to teach the class, that was my very first initial thing. Our first 2 weeks was spent on tools in our self-care toolbox of how to like understand us as an artist, build the artist that we want to be. What drives you? My 3 E's is my goal in everything that I do is to entertain, educate, and empower. Period.
Fire.
So when I show up in life and when I show up on podcasts, I am making sure that I am hitting all of those points. We laughing, but I'm also going to fucking educate you. I'm also going to empower you to take
Incongruity is
something.
gonna last
You know what I mean? Like,
forever.
I'm going to do these things because that's how my world. And if you want to be a part of that world, then you're going to get a part of that. So that's how I approach
Gotcha.
the class.
Oh.
So that as artists, they can look at it like that, you know, and really make space for themselves, because I think artists has become so commercialized that we have lost the beauty of art. We're getting stuck in like trying to
beautiful
make it
thing.
and be seen. And it's like real art doesn't come from a place of needing to be seen at all.
My question was gonna be there, but he
No,
had
go,
one
go,
first.
go ahead, go, bro. Yeah, I mean, well,
I think we were already
shit,
recording.
to finish off or to add on to what you already answered about, you know, people reviewing your class and giving their thoughts about you teaching them about comedy. Do people expect to leave your class? It's been one quarter. I guess it's not a fair question, really. Do they leave your class expecting to be funny, knock Dave Chappelle, some more? You know, just leave your class expecting to be these people?
I mean, the podcast is 3 hours long. How did you not expect me to eat? Like, you know what I mean? Like the time that we
let's
spent.
address- I'm about to
No, I'm
switch.
just playing. I'm finna get
No, here's the real thing. Mo was like, man, who we feeding today? I said, bro, I got her, bro. That motherfucker said, all right, I ain't bringing the chicken today.
I'm just fucking with you. So look,
So
no.
she had to call and reinforce.
So with people, what I've noticed is that people are getting a lot out of the class. And I set the expectation up very early on of like what you put in is what you get out with comedy. You know what I'm saying? I have some students that were like I gave them an option of the midterm exam, right? They get to
You're nice.
excuse me, they get to choose what they wanted to do, like a story or a history piece on comedy.
That's pressure.
or 50 jokes, right?
Damn.
And a lot of students, based on what I had taught them, chose the 50 jokes one,
They
which
thought
was
it was easier.
they thought it was easier. But
It's
what I
not.
noticed though, even still, they wrote the joke. They were really funny. They were grabbing the concepts, which is what I liked about it, because one of the students, as she was working up to that, she said, "Oh, I've been writing 5 jokes a day. I'm working on, like, I'm writing up to my 50 jokes." So they were taking the tools that I've given them early on, which was about writing every day, right? And setting yourself up by studying comedy and all. They were taking all of those tools and utilizing them. And so I don't think they expected anything more than what they got, because that's what they were putting out. In fact, at the end of the class, I have them grade themselves. I give them a survey sheet and they have questions on them about their own
Most
what
artists are
they
gonna be their
did.
worst critic.
Yeah, in the class. What did you
Right.
do? And I know I'm my worst critic, right? Somebody will be like, "Oh, that shit was funny as hell." And the
you be
first
like,
thing
"Well."
I say is, "Yeah, you know, except for that one part,
Right.
I'm going right to the thing that I messed up on." You know, but
Something
that's
from
just
this
in my
part.
head. So for them, it was only one that I was like, "Nah, nigga, that
You
ain't the
ain't got
grade
it.
I would. That ain't the grade. That ain't the grade I would have given you." You know what I
Nah, fam.
mean? Nah.
You tweet.
You overreaching, bro. You
That shit is
overreaching.
incongruent
Yeah,
with what I think.
You like that word.
But the rest of them, I felt like graded themselves really accordingly to how they showed up to the class and how much they put into it. You know what I mean? So I don't think they
That's what's
expect that.
happening.
You
All
know?
right.
Well, you
Guess
know,
what?
Art is art, you know what I'm saying? So like, and knowing that you were coming on the show, like last night I had a thought, like, you know, because I remember watching, no offense, but I gotta say what the fuck it is. I remember watching female comedians, you know what I'm saying, early in the game, and they had a lot of sex jokes, you know what I'm saying? But gradually over time, they were able to talk about more than sex, you know, this, that, because I don't know, it should have always been acceptable, but it became more acceptable in society for them to talk about more things other
That was
than
the only
the fucking
place they were
bedroom.
allowed in Hollywood.
Okay, cool too. Yeah, that's right too though.
But this also just goes back to women's voices being silenced. You know what I
You know what
mean?
I'm saying? But yeah,
Like-
so, but then now I thought about rap because it's art.
Mhm.
Comedy is art, rap, music, whatever you want to do, it's art, you know what I'm saying? But now it seemed like back when women talked about sex was taboo, and now all they talk about is sex. It's like the games went backwards with each other.
You mean in rap?
In rap, yes, you know what I'm saying? Is there a specific reason? Is it the art that they're doing that sent these artists or these, yeah, they are artists. Comedians are artists, you know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Yeah.
Sent these people down this different path? Is it like what's selling, what's not selling?
I was gonna say if I were to take a gander, right? For rap, I would say it's sex. Sex sells, and that's what people draw to. And so you're more popular the sexier you are. Period. And with comedy, I think that people when you first start out and you do a lot of sex jokes, sex is, believe it or not, more palatable for people.
It's low hanging.
It's
No matter who you
low-hanging
are,
fruit.
racially,
It's low-hanging
whatever
fruit.
age bracket.
It's
yeah.
universal. Everybody
Right.
does it. Everybody knows what it's like. Everybody's seen something about it. It's a way to just poke fun.
Connect with somebody.
Right?
Right.
Right. To connect. And until you really find your voice in what you're trying to say, you will go for those kind of low-hanging fruit jokes. And I don't think a lot of female comics, from my point of view, from what I've seen, do that. Like I don't
Not
see
anymore. Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't
anymore.
see a lot of comics that do that. I actually think that is some hilarious female comics out here that are like really raising conscious awareness on so many levels about things that people don't talk about. You know what I mean?
Right.
And or when men talk about it, they talk about it in such a
Dominant.
such a very
ownership
masculine
kinda way.
perspective
Yeah.
that it kind of silences the woman voice again. You know what I mean? And so and that's happened over years. And so for a long time, if women can only be heard if we're talking about dicks, then that was a way.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I get in.
It
Right.
was
At
like,
least I'm
okay,
on
fine.
stage.
Fuck it, I'll talk about a dick or two. You know what I
Right.
mean? If that's what's gonna give me clearance into this
it's-
very male
So there was a
dominated
way
sure.
in, what you're saying.
world,
It still
right?
is.
Yeah, and a lot of men still very, very believe that women
Yeah.
aren't funny.
How much does that fall on the fans though,
You know,
for being morons and only accepting this kind of content from certain genders?
that don't fall just on the fans as much as it falls on society in general and how we look at women. You know what I mean? When you look at a female, like you categorize them, right? You put them in
Immediately,
boxes.
right.
And
You
you say,
expect
this is
certain
where you're
things.
supposed to be. And anything
I
outside
don't
of
do
that
that.
is
I've
not
never done
okay. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Right,
You do that?
No.
I'm not
You
disagreeing
know what I'm
with
saying?
what
His
I'm
name
saying,
is McKinday, and you take care of a child that needs more
But
attention.
the boss
Like
is
it's a
African
certain
too,
part of your
though,
heart that's open
Right.
that
Right.
other people, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm being honest with you. Like certain predicaments in life put you in situations that allow you to see things
Different.
from a broader perspective. And if you've never had to experience that. So one thing is, like I talked about earlier, is my self-care practice, my meditations, my writing, my like constant introspection and tuning in to Kelly. The more I know me, the more I see how I'm showing up, the more I can make light of these spaces that I once thought were just hella flaws. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I'm seeing like, oh yeah, it's a flaw, but it's also the thing that makes me me. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be this if I didn't have that to change the perspective. You know, there is no light without dark. There's no dark without light. Like you need the perspective.
That was trash, but go ahead.
It's fine. Your opinion versus mine. You have no facts. You've been talking literally out the side of your neck, nigga, for 2.5 hours.
For sure. That's what I do. That's what I do.
But no, it's just understanding that it's all a part of me. And so when I think about what I want to share with the world, right? For a long time, I would do what many people call shucking and jiving, right? I would get on stage. I would just talk about the bullshit. I would go for the low-hanging fruit. I would be the expected nigga you expect me to be. I would be that. And as I continued in my self-care journey and just getting to know Kelly, I just started to see how uncomfortable that made me feel. You know what I'm saying? To do that, to kind of like result to that way of creating, which landed me quitting comedy and then starting back again and quitting comedy again and going in all these different directions, which landed to my one-woman show, which landed to me teaching, which now has gotten me back into comedy. And that whole little journey that I went on kind of helped me understand that it wasn't that I don't know what I'm doing or that I'm not good at what I'm doing. It's just not that I don't know what I'm doing. Not that I'm not good at what I'm doing, that I don't know exactly what I'm doing. And I'm one of those kind of people that will just sit and wonder until I find some type of clarity. Like
What's your sign?
I'm a
again?
Libra. I need these dots to connect for me. You know what I'm saying? Else it leaves me feeling depleted and insecure and very small. So because I know that about myself, the more I know about myself, the more I can feed that part of me.
So that it doesn't show
So
up
that it doesn't-
in ways that you don't want
That
it
I
to.
don't want it to.
Okay.
Exactly. And so when I think about my material and just creating content that I feel good about, I'm so in tune with me that I know when I'm talking about some shit I don't feel good about, I try not to go down that. Or I try to figure out why I don't feel good about it.
Right.
Because I do a lot of jokes about Mike, you know what I'm saying? My husband,
Yeah.
right? Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to
Always
Mike.
shout out to Mike.
I ain't gonna lie. I definitely want to have you on the podcast. Like you the only guy I know.
No. Mike told me
Oh, shit.
quietly.
I don't know if we should get
fuck-
him the
This
mic.
might not be
Fuck
true.
you. I don't know if, exactly. I don't know if we should allow this
Go ahead.
to go.
Go ahead. How true is it? Go ahead.
I called Mike. I said, Mike, man, you know what I mean? No, he called me. We was talking. Some kind of way. we was
Already
talking,
sound
right?
like a lie.
No bullshit,
Already
right?
it sound
No
like a lie.
bullshit. So I said,
We
Mike,
know what
I
your
wanna-
modesty is right now. We
I
do.
said, Mike, I want to have you on. He said, nah, man, you know, that's not really where I'm going, man. I prefer to be behind the camera. It's kind of what I do, but I respect everything that you're doing, bro, and anything that you need,
That's
I
somewhat
got you.
factual.
Actually, you probably did
That
say
sounds a
that.
little real.
That does sound like some
Sounds a
people
little
say
real,
that.
That's kind of the same.
This is very accurate.
And the crazy part is like he's my friend. It's
I've been
not
trying
like
to get him
some
to do
industry
sketches
shit.
with me since we've
Oh,
been
that's
married.
never gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen.
I got him in the beginning though.
But I will say that, right? Like that's a place of true vulnerability, and in the same way, right? There's a true trust in that, right? But I think what I liked about your earlier point is that
Trust.
Who am I to show up in front of you
That's
as an
0
artist? As an artist, without being honest with myself. So as you said before, I could easily get up here and just do low-hanging fruit. I can do things that I know are gonna get attention. And, just to chase a bag, get some, maybe start a career, whatever.
Mm.
But to be able to really identify and say, look, I owe my audience more than that, right? I owe them who I am, right? And if I don't show up authentically as who I am, then it's not going to track the same, right? I'm not going to connect with it the same over time, and my audience isn't. And I think that's real. It's like Mike, legit. I've heard the jokes about Mike, and it's like the first time I saw it, I remember going, that's fucked up, man. I know that dude. I swear to God. I remember the first time I was like, yo, that's fucked up, bro. Like,
When she said,
like,
what
why
do
would she say that
she
shit,
said,
man?
what are you doing for Black community? Like, I got Asians over here.
Yo, like,
You know what I mean?
like legit. Now again, you know that he's also laughing, right? And if you know them together as a couple, you also know that like this ain't some like shit she just came up with on site. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
there's more.
It's been a journey though. It's been a journey getting there with this subject of like being able to talk about him and him being able, it's been his own journey of like, dealing with
The
him.
dopest photographer
And been
in
my own
Chicago,
journey of
let's
dealing
be
with
clear.
me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because when creating art, like it's a very sensitive space.
Yeah.
Your family is affected.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For
Like
sure.
greatly.
Yeah.
And so you got to tiptoe around like what is okay to talk about and what isn't okay to talk. And because I've never tiptoed around nothing, everything was okay to talk about for me.
Gotcha.
I'm with you. Like,
And
that's,
that-
that's
there
how
was
I
a-
am.
there's an
But
adjustment in that.
there is an adjustment in that. Like I've started
Right.
to see that, okay, if I'm not, where am I talking about this thing from? What space is it coming from? And I realized that most in my one-woman show, right? I was very compassionate in how I wrote that show, how I wrote the pieces of the show, how I handled the emotions of the show. I was very
It wasn't
very
freestyle.
intentional.
Yeah.
It wasn't freestyle.
Right.
I became a professional
Right.
when I did that.
Did
that
you
show.
ask the people that you talked about, were they okay with what you talked about?
No.
Because you can't write like that. Yeah, you can't write
His head
like
over there
that.
shaking. No.
Well, you can't write like
you
that.
can't. I can't get his approval
No,
for what I'm
saying
sharing.
Yeah.
afterwards, right? Because I saw Will Smith when he did his what's name, his book or
What's
whatever.
her name?
His book, right? He said
Book?
before
I know what you're talking about, bro.
his book.
That's Mount West shit.
Yeah. Just
No,
But
fam,
no,
I'm not finna let you roll over
he
that.
brought it
Bro.
to his family first and said, "Hey, look, this is what I'm doing." So I'm asking you, did you do that? Or he's like, "Nah, fuck it, I'm from Harvard."
Here's the thing. What I experienced, my one-woman show, what I experienced, like I said earlier, is my lived experience. It's my reality, right? It's what has made me into Kelly, the Kelly that you see that can have this conversation about these things. And so my one-woman show touched on a lot of those spaces that I went into to find that type of clarity. And I shared stories with you that lend to that as well. And it was very intentional. The part of the story that I shared, I was very compassionate to make sure that I wasn't intentionally hurting anybody. It wasn't coming from a place of anger or disappointment or rage or anything. It was coming from a really intentional place of like wanting to share this story, wanting to also heal my own wounds, but also share with other people and how they can do that, even in the most chaotic and crazy looking way, right? Which is why the show is called Crazy or Nah, because it's for you
I
to
love that.
use for
Identify
you
what part is
to
crazy.
say,
Yeah,
is
sure.
it crazy or not,
Sure.
right?
Dope.
I'm going to have my own answer, which may be different from your answer, and we're both seeing the same show.
We're gonna end the show with the because shout out to again Mila. We got the
Ghetto
tequila-
spelling bee, ghetto spelling bee.
No. Shut the fuck up. It's my event. I get to promote it. It's
No,
called
this is the
Tequila
segment.
and the Bee. Tequila and the Bee is
That
the
shit was
event.
trash.
Oh, nice.
And we're doing it at the basement, or baseline.
We
Shit,
also
it's
have a
too
segment on
many
the show called Ghetto Spelling.
Baseline.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, they just started that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we have it school though.
Moving
Nah,
on.
you're welcome.
Oh my God. See how hard this life is? This is why I don't come. Pause.
What the
Oh, that was one of those button moments.
Yep.
No. But so we're gonna go through
a minute.
the list
Wait.
of words. Now,
That
Wait
was
a
late as
minute.
fuck. You
I
gonna
know,
edit that? You gonna try to make it
First
sound...
of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
each person chooses a category. I got 3 categories.
Look how trash
Common
this
words.
I want category 1.
I got homophones,
2.
phones, and hood words. So, Amon,
I'm-
you go first.
I'm clearly gonna be good.
Do you
at
want
words.
homophones, common words, or hood words?
Let's go with homophones.
All right, homophones.
Because you thought I would go with hood words. So I'm going to do the opposite.
I did
yeah.
actually expect that of you.
I know.
All right, spell. Oh, see,
Oh,
this is kind of
shit.
difficult. You see, shit. This nigga whole body was like, oh, God damn it. Hey, you done 0. Let's move to
His confidence dropped so quick. He was like, yeah, damn, spell.
This is spelling bee. I know that's what you meant.
Mila, call in right now.
Nah.
Because you're not setting it up.
Oh,
But
spell-
go ahead.
Spell colleague.
Colleague. So it's something like college, right? Let me get my phone.
No, you can't Google.
Hard though.
All right,
Not right for laughing that hard.
Colleague. COLLEAGUE.
Oh,
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
1
Fuck
point.
you,
Ding, ding, ding.
What you
League.
mean?
Ding, ding.
top.
I was thinking he an athlete if you can't spell league.
Killing me,
All right, the
Smalls.
bossy. Common words, homophones, or hood words.
Either
I know
one.
he won't hood.
Either one, bro.
Wow.
Oh, man. Just
I'm gonna give you common words.
jump ball. Throw the motherfucker up there.
Give you common words.
Jump ball up in this bitch.
He from the west side. You might want to give him a
Let's
hood word.
go with colonial. I'm sorry, colonel. Colonel.
Colonel.
Well, that's tough.
KFC. 13 spices, goddammit. 13 original spices and flavors, goddammit. Honey barbecue. Wedges. Yes or no?
I thought he was going to name the 13 original spices. He said honey barbecue,
Super
wedges.
wrong.
That's not
Super
right.
wrong. Extra
Colonel-
funny, but super wrong.
What the fuck is going on here?
All right, Kelly.
Colonel. COLONEL.
Whoa, wait. Shit, I moved it now. I wasn't even paying attention.
That's correct.
Wait, say
Colonel.
what is it? COL what?
I spelled it already.
I missed it.
Check the tape.
That's wrong.
Check the tape.
That's wrong.
It is right. He
I
said
think
it
it's
right.
right
He
because
spelled it right.
she's in the military.
Colonel.
I don't give a
Colonel.
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 Thank
Yeah, yeah. All right,
Colonel.
yeah.
You a
He said-
motherfucking light-skinned
I
hater,
can't-
bro.
Ain't no- there's no R in Colonel?
No.
No, it's spelled stupid,
All
but
right,
it's
so
definitely.
KERNEL.
No.
Colonel?
That's like a
Popcorn.
kernel of popcorn.
All right,
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
But
I
I
guess I
think-
should give context.
I
He
want
didn't
credit.
ask
I
for it.
want to get that wrong because I like my first description better.
Yeah, that was better.
I do.
All right, Trey. Homophones, common
Well,
words, or hood
obviously the
words?
last one.
Hood words. All right. Tig old bitties.
What?
That's a hood word. Tig old bitties. It's a hood word. I didn't make that shit
What
up.
the fuck are you doing right now?
That's a hood word.
So let me get this.
You want a non-gender
Let me get this sexist bullshit.
Exactly.
Let me make sure I understand
All right, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go
McKinday.
I got one. I
Your
got one better.
name, you just disappointed your name, bro. What is you doing?
Low key though, as I look at these are all really fucked up and feminine. But all right, hoopty.
That's not hard enough. Pause. I said pause first.
Wait a minute.
Oh, y'all tried it. It's cool though.
Hoopty.
That's not difficult enough. Excuse me.
Hoopty.
Choose a different
On phone
category.
now.
No, all these words is super-
H-O-O-P-T-Y.
Say it again.
H-O-O-P-T-Y.
See, they
Or
have
Or is it
IE.
T-I-E?
They
I-E?
have the IE. Yeah. They have the
Yeah.
Mike disapproves of this
usually.
spelling.
I've only owned one hoopty in my life.
But to your point on some real shit
happy
though,
for that.
so I
Good.
forgot how to
on
spell
some real
it.
shit, you just raised a real issue because like here's the other words on here: scallywag,
Collective genius.
skeezer,
Scallywag is smart.
wench. Like who came up with this list?
You should have went with Scallywag,
It's
bro.
very
Yeah.
non.
That would have been better,
No, that's
bro.
the same level of like.
No, but that would've been better than
insensitivity
Tig Old
towards
Bitty.
women.
Oh, how about all of them?
Well, no,
All
because a
of them.
nigga could be a scallywag.
That's a hood word.
For sure.
Thank you.
A nigga
All
can be a
of 'em.
scallywag.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been a great show.
All of
today.
them on phone now. Bro, these are hood words.
on phone now.
On phone now.
Put your motherfucking hands together.
Hey, shout out, real talk, man. Can't thank you enough, Kelly. Seriously.
Episode 141, man.
In
We
the
out,
books.
man.
Cardi 151.